Hello guys, it is Radical Notion, and today I have the Alaskan Survival story. Now this story is very, very bad. I'm just gonna say that right now. But that's what makes it entertaining. I wrote this tail end of elementary school, going into middle school. I did no research, absolutely none. I made all my assumptions based off of like movies and stuff like that, and just based off what I think happens, for example, the boiled coffee beans curing frostbite. That was actually an assumption I had back then. Let that just set the tone for how bad this is, but it's actually very entertaining because of that. But if you're just to read it for the story, it's very boring. But I want to read this as if it's a very, very serious, very well written story, even though it's not. As I think that might get a bit more funny. So, yeah. I'm going to start reading it. So, here we go. I'm Joseph, a fifth grade student at Lincoln Elementary. We are having a field trip to Russia. We had to have this: a passport, $500, and a parent guidance. As we took the bus to the airport, I was looking at MapleStory on my laptop and played it for 2 hours. A couple hours later, we arrived at the airport and I was talking to Alex. "Dude, aren't you excited?" I said, "Yeah," Alex exclaimed. Then we got scanned and all that stuff. Then we entered the plane and I sat next to Alex. 2 hours in the plane, I saw a bunch of mountains and we were in the remote area of Alaska. "Look at those mountains, Alex," I said. "Blockland," Alex said. Then I saw a mountain rock go in one engine. I yelled, "Rock in the wing!" A lady came by me. "What's wrong?" she asked. "We bumped the mountain wing." As she was going to tell the pilot said, "One wing is severely damaged." Chapter 2. I heard tons of gasps. Then I heard, "Brace for impact," the pilot yelled. I felt my chest burn. When we were going down, I saw the endless mountains and snow. Then we hit. "Wake up! Wake up!" I opened my eyes. "Where am I?" "I don't know," Alex yelled. I looked around and saw that John, Patty were alive and my parents were alive. "Now what?" "We'll get over," she said. We can and got down the mountain. Then I saw my brother, Mason. I said, "Mason!" "Yeah," he said. "Let's go now," I said. I found a pocket knife and a couple packs of crackers. Everyone had a minor injury, me a bruise, some amnesia, and Alex had a sprain on his leg. Then I said, "Let's get down." Then we were getting prepared. We got first aid kits and tent kits and rope. We were ready to climb down the mountain alive. I looked down the mountain and saw a glacier. I threw the rope on a spike on the glacier. It was sturdy enough for us till it breaks. I went first and it was very scary because it was as high as a skyscraper, so I was very careful not to slip. I made down to a crevice. I yelled, "Next!" Alex started to come down and everyone else. On the bottom of the mountain, all I could see was snow, rock, and ice. The snow was coming up, thank goodness. We made it through the mountain. "Water," I said. I got my bottle and got a scoop of water. It was fresh from what I could tell. No salt, no dirt, just ice. I took a good sip. Good. I took water and others did as well with bottles. Then another challenge, crossing the ice-cold river. I put my foot in the river, piercing cold. The river is about 10 miles long, but I walked across the river, and on the other side I was freezing, and I said, "Wow, that's cold." Alex ran as fast as he could. Then he looked cold. "Let's set up camp," I said. "Okay," Patty said. We took out our tent kit and set up 5 minutes. And we all fit good, and we took a nap. I woke up and looked out. It was night. "Wake up, everybody," Patty yelled. They woke up. "What?" everyone said. "How are we going to eat?" she asked. "Doesn't the plane have food?" I said. "Who's going to climb up there?" she asked. "I will," I said. "If you get hurt, I'm a student doctor." "Okay," I said. I walked across the river and got up to the top of the rope on another spike and started to climb. It was not much snow, but more rock. I was at the top, and in the plane I saw bodies twisted, cut, and dead. I went to the back and found 6 soups, 15 packs of cigarettes, 96 coffee beans, 2 revolvers, and 100 bullets. Then I got the rope, clinged it back on the spike, and started to climb. I heard a snap. I fell to the floor with a thud. Everyone ran towards me, and Patty started to drag me back to camp. Still dazed, I heard, "My God, help us." And I said, "Don't worry, I'll pull through this, just don't panic." I started to heal. Then I got up and said, "What about the supplies I got?" "They are here," John said. He handed me my backpack, and I took the revolver. "I'll take this, and Craig will take the second one." "What about me?" Mason said. I gave him a knife. "Here," I said. "Thanks," Mason said. Then I went to sleep. I woke up by Patty saying, "Let's move." "Okay, let's pack up and move," I exclaimed. We packed up and started to hike. We all needed energy, so we ate 5 coffee beans each. Then we ran across the ice. "I'll get the ice for water," I yelled. I got as much as I could. Then we were on the endless snow again. Then John said, "Help!" "What?" me and Patty said. "I have a frostbite," John yelled. Patty ran towards me. She gave him some boiled coffee beans. The sun was rising. "Who needs some water?" I asked. "Me," everyone said. I took a liter and melted some ice in bottles for water, and we kept walking in the endless snow. As we were walking, we ran across an animal. It was a polar bear. I pulled out my gun and shot it in the head. It fell to the floor, and I went over to the bear. "Let's keep it for food," John said. "Okay, but make sure it's dead," Craig said. I walked up to it, and it was breathing with a struggle. I shot it 3 more times, and it died. How are we going to carry this?" I asked. "We can carry it in a Ziploc bag I took," Alex said. "What? You have a Ziploc bag and you didn't tell us?" I exclaimed. "I don't know," Alex said. "Okay, go on," I said. "We used a Ziploc bag I found to put the meat in there." "Okay," I said. Alex got out the Ziploc bag and I cut the meat with my knife and cleaned it with the ice and put it in the Ziploc bags. The meat weighed about 20 pounds. If we were careful, that would last us about 3 weeks. Then we were walking for hours in the snow, ice, and rock, and we had to set up camp. We opened our tent kits in 10 minutes because we were tired and stressed. As I got in the tent, I started to cry because I missed my family, my normal life. I said, "We're gonna have polar bear meat tonight." "How are we gonna cook the meat?" John asked. "I will take the meat and put it under my lighter for 5 minutes," I said. "Okay," said John. After I cooked, we got a portion as big as my hands. It tasted like chicken with salt. I was very tired, so I took a nap. Then I woke up about 3 hours later, and I saw that people were melting ice for water. I decided to do the same because Craig said we should get moving. So I melted ice for water. Then we packed up our tent, started to walk again, and found a stream of water that stretched 20 miles, so we had to think. "Let's take that ice floe over there," I said. "Okay," everyone said. We stepped on the ice floe, and I was very stubborn but brave. I used my hands to steer and go forward. It was trembling to do. Then the floe started to crack. We were far from land, so we kept going. And we made it to the other side in 2 hours. I took out my bottle and took a long sip. "We need to cross these mountains to get a good view," I said. "How are we going to do that?" Alex asked. "How about we use the rope?" I said. "Oh yeah, okay," he said. I got the rope and cleaned it on the side. The rock fell on the floor and said, "Come on!" I yelled in anger. "Why do we have to be here?" I screamed. Then I started to run from being mad. Then I calmed down. Then we started to set up camp. Then I said, "Why right now? We just set up camp 20 minutes ago. Come on, we gotta move," I said. "You're right. Why now, guys? Why?" he asked. "Let's keep moving," I said. Then we started to hike. After about 1 hour, we ran across a reindeer. I pulled out my revolver and I took a shot. I hit the deer in the leg. Then it started to limp. I walked to the deer and snapped its neck and it died. "I'll cut it up to eat," I said. "Alright," said Brittany. "I'll put the meat in my pouch." I put an extra 10 pounds of meat in my pouch after that kill. I have to go to the bathroom," John said. I dug a hole in the ice, then I said, "Now you can." He unzipped his pants and did his business. After that, John said, "Good idea." Then he giggled. Then we all used the hole to do our business. Then we walked for 3 more hours, and we decided to set up camp. Also, I took a long nap at camp. When I woke up, the sounds of talking put me to sleep. I woke up to the sound of screaming. "What the hell's going on?" I yelled. "There's a wolf attacking us," John yelled. I pulled out my revolver and shot the wolf in the head. It fell down. "Hey, more food for us," I said. Everyone laughed. I cut up the wolf and added 15 pounds to my pouch. "Can we use more than one pouch? I'm holding 45 pounds for crying out loud." I asked everybody. They took out their pouches and put meat in it. Then we took the tent and started to hike. I felt miserable because I knew we were going to die. "We're going to die. We're trying to cross a continent. So how long will it take?" I exclaimed. "I don't know. 3 years," John said. "That will take forever," I yelled. "It was just a guess," John said. We kept walking for nothing because John had a point. If we wanted to survive, we'll have to live here. I put my hands on my eyes and started to cry. "We'll never make it," I yelled. "Yeah, we will. We need to hurry." "Yeah, but before I could finish my thoughts, a strong wind started to blow. "We're gonna be blind from the snow," I yelled. "We can make goggles," Alex said. "How?" I asked. Alex brought some sticks. "I will cut out holes for our eyes to see without having snow blindness," Alex said. Alex found 16 twigs. I cut some rope and tied 6 twigs to a sunglasses shape. I put them on. They were helpful to see through the storm, but were very loose, but stable enough. "So how are they?" Brittany asked. "They're fine," I said. Then everyone else started to make glasses with my help. "This hike is so long, I'm tired," John said. "Me too, but we have to walk," I said. John slouched over as if he was wearing a ton. "Are we going to die?" Alex said. "How the heck do you think I know?" I yelled. "I don't know, I'm just scared," Alex said. "Yeah, Mother Nature is a rude thing," Alex said. "I know," I said. We started to hike again. Then I saw the coolest thing. "What are in those boxes?" I asked. I opened one box that I guess must have fell off the plane. I saw inside bottles of water. I smiled to this great find. "I found water bottles in this box," I yelled. Brittany found a notebook, frozen burgers, and pizza. "I guess this plane was fancy," I said. "Actually, about that," John said. "I hate Russian food, so I got my own," John said. I thought it was unusual to bring pizza and burgers, but I didn't care. "We can eat that," I said. "How?" John asked. "Duh, a lighter," I said. I pulled out a burger, taking the wrapping off, and put it under a lighter for 15 minutes. Meanwhile, John opened the box to find a rifle. "Where the hell is this crap coming from?" I yelled. John looked deeper in the box and found ammo and a label reading U.S. Army property. "I think they found us and sent a search party," I said. "Maybe," John said. I took the rifle. "Do you know how to use it?" she asked. "From all the FPS games I play?" "Yes," I said. I cocked it just correctly, and everyone looked at me like I was a hero. "Who's thirsty?" I asked. "Me," everyone said. I gave everyone a bottle. I handed the revolver to Mason. "Thanks," Mason said. I saw... And actually, that it never finishes after that, but... So there you have it, my infamous Alaskan survival story. It's a very funny story. There's a lot of freaking mistakes. For example, we were going to Russia on this field trip, and for some reason we had to cross Alaska to get there. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. But also, Frostbite, another great example. And the characters were just so like psychopaths if you think about it. I mean, "Oh no, there's a wolf attacking us." 1 second later, I shoot it and like, "Oh, whoop, well, there's more food for us." Like, we're not even scared anymore. Like, come on. And it seems like I had a solution for everything. Like, there was never a time where I was actually having a struggle. Every time that I was crying or something, I got over like that. And so, you know what? I have a little theory about this story, alright? There's a deeper meaning, right? The deeper meaning is that I became a psychopath, right, in this story. Because look at this, okay? I freaking snapped a reindeer's neck. And right after I said, "I'll cut it up to eat." Like, I mean, not everyone does that, right? And I was carrying, what, 45 pounds of meat while walking in Alaska. The fucking, like, barren wasteland part of it, anyway. The remote area, whatever. Yeah, unrealistic. Also, finding frozen burgers and pizza, what the fuck? And, like, the explanation for it was horrible. I mean, John hates Russian food, so he brought his own food. Yeah, I mean, you can't just smuggle in your own food like that. Anyway, so, also, the funniest part is, I found a rifle. Do you know how to use it? From all the FPS games I play? Yes, like, that's not sarcasm. I legitimately wrote that being serious, so, yeah, that's pretty sad. But, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I find it very hilarious, obviously, from all the laughing while reading it, but, yeah. My next video is probably going to be a gameplay video, where, like, a montage type of thing, or it may, probably just a skit, actually, like, it's actually a mix, because I wanted to do a skit that involved, like, gameplay video. It was, like, a quote-unquote gameplay video, but, like, some shit's gonna go down. I think that's gonna be pretty funny. I'll just leave it at that, but it's gonna be very funny in the end, so look forward to that. And at first, I was gonna read this with the spelling errors, but yeah, I couldn't even read it from the notebook. I had to retype everything on Google Docs, which took 2 days, so... I mean, I know it wasn't that long or anything, but I had to read my own handwriting, so... that was a big factor. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this story, and Radical Notion, out. Peace.